Dangote Group, John Wood Hotel Abuja, CBN, Access Bank, and Ecobank. We are mostly grateful to you all. I welcome those who are participating in this lecture via Zoom, others following proceedings on the live streaming of the event on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from different countries. We appreciate you all. Thank you for your attention. Welcome one and all. God bless Realnews magazine. God bless Nigeria. God bless Liberia, because I guess you can't say Liberia. And God bless Africa. Thank you for listening.
And may God also bless the world for more peace. Because the world needs peace, more peace. Because when we have crises like this, that is also when illicit funds also have a way of creeping beyond borders. You know, because I attended. Please, can we put our hands together for Sister Molly Chigo gave two very instructions for all of us. For journalists who are here, especially GoCop members, I will personally be ensuring, I will be counting them. The coverage of this, Amorin also calls for support. Please let us support Realnews. Thank you very much, Sister Maureen Chibo, for that address. And we just go on. Typically, you know, today is a media event to some extent, because we have one of our own here. We have quite a number of media people here present. And as we go on, I will also introduce them. Maureen made mention of the FRS Income Sector Commander in Lagos. Is Mr. Babatunde Fariloye. He's heavily seated here. You're welcome, sir. I also have here the MD of Guardian newspaper, Mr. Martin Oloja. He's also here present. I have here Elder Igwe, typically sitting close to Mr. P2B. You're welcome, sir. The publisher of Political Economist, Mr. Ken Ubeche, is also here present. Please, I need the names as they come in. I also have Mrs. Victoria Ugbe and Mr. Gbenga Dada of the News Agency of Nigeria. They are all here as well. Also, Mrs. Nena Okoha, she's Deputy Director of Public Affairs in NCC. She's also here. And you look at your program, we've already gone to number 5. Opening remarks by our chairman of today's occasion, Mr. Mohammed Bello Koko. He's the Managing Director of Nigeria Ports Authority. He's represented by Mr. Durowaye Ayodele. He's the General Manager in the MD's office, Nigerian Ports Authority. Please, can we welcome him for his opening remarks? Thank you very much, sir.
Your Excellency, good morning, sir. Distinguished members of IT, members of the Port Estate, I would like to request of the existing protocol. Good morning, everyone. This is the opening remark of Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority congratulates the publisher, editor of Realnews magazine and publication limited on the occasion of the 11th anniversary lecture. The MD was actually desirous of being personally in attendance, hence his personal commitment to it. However, the events of the hosting of over 20 African countries taking place right now at Lagos Continental Hotel means we cannot be physically in attendance, hence this representation. Madam Pedro comments the resilience and tenacity of Realnews magazine in living true to its vision of shaping public policy through investigative journalism with focus on creating a better society. The topic for the 11th anniversary lecture lays credence to your commitments as it touches on the global challenge which has even greater implications for the social and political well-being and indeed stability of the continent. The issue of illicit fund flow, also known as money laundering, into or out of the African continent should actually be broadly seen as two sides of the same coin because of the impact of these unwholesome practices of menace to the socio-economic development of the continent. For the record, Africa parades in global terms comparatively the youngest population with over 60% under the age of 25 years. And this is a World Bank report. It is this group which represents the future of the continent and its developmental aspiration that is most affected by corruption and the legal diversion of public and private sector funds, drug trafficking, terrorism, human and sex trafficking, and other vices which put together represent the conflict and or the end product of illicit funds within the continent. These practices are things that affect everything that we do as a country, and therefore this meeting today is very important. I'd like to welcome the guest speaker and the commitment to coming from far away Senegal to come and talk to us on this very important topic. Thank you for coming. We also appreciate the panelists and the people that are going to be talking to us today. I appreciate the fact that most of the people that will be interacting with today are people in the financial services group. Nigeria is a country that represents a significant population of the African continent. So if we address this issue fundamentally in Nigeria, we have solved a fundamental aspect of the challenges that we are facing with the issue of illicit funds and their implication for the social economic development of the country. The impact of the movement of illicit funds on productivity, the rule of law, trust in public institutions, and political stability cannot be overemphasized. I therefore welcome today's lecture series and enjoin all participants to work together to find solutions that are both homegrown to the African continent, but those that will affect that will address the root causes of these challenges. I commend the efforts of the Nigerian government based on the institutions that are in existence, some of whom are represented here, and encourage greater cooperation and collaboration between nations, particularly especially within the African continent, to address issues of fiscal transparency, anti-laundering programs, prioritize KYC, which is know your customers through our financial institution, use technology for greater monitoring of suspicious fund movement, and strengthen our anti-money laundering programs by keeping the five pillars of this AML. The guest lecturer, I believe, will do justice to the topic of threat of the inflow of illicit funds into the continent today. And I believe the robust engagement that will follow will provide the key solutions that we desire as a country and as a continent. On that note, I'd like to welcome everyone to this environment and also to thank the publisher for a job well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Very soft spoken. Please, a round of applause for him again. Thank you. Our guest lecturer, I just want to tell you that you're fully covered. Dr. Jeffrey Isima is here. He's Director of Evaluation and Compliance, ECOWAS Djaba from Senegal. And also Timothy Milaye, Head of Communication and Advocacy, is also here. So when you start reading, don't think that you're alone, sir. You're welcome. Also, the former Corps Marshal of the Road Safety Commission, Dr. Boboye Oyeye, is represented by Mr. Shoga Osheni. Deputy Corps Commander is representing Dr. Oyeye. You're welcome, sir. I also have Prince Chami Olulio, Publisher, Editor-in-Chief of Icon Blaze Magazine, online, and Mr. Gwenga Adewale of Realnews. We used to have only one Prince Chami. He's a king now. So maybe this Prince Chami will also be aiming at becoming the next king. Thank you. Our next online is, I want to call on the newly appointed Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Nigerian Communications Commission. Until his latest appointment, he was the Executive Director of Technology and Operations at Nigeria Interbank Settlement System PLC. He's a seasoned technical professional with over 15 years of multifunctional and international experience in fintech, telecoms, and enterprise technology. He is ably represented by the Director of Public Affairs of the NCC, Mr. Ruben Walker. Please, can we welcome him?
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to represent Dr. Aminu Menda, the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission. His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, as a traditional title holder from Anambra State, when I introduce Mr. Peter Obi, he sounds, I don't know how he sounds, because he's actually a high chief, but he prefers to be called Mr. Your Excellency, you're welcome. We are delighted to see you, a man of many parts and a man of many places. You're welcome. Distinguished Chairman of the Commission, distinguished lecturer, all the members of this divide, I greet you. I want to greet the publisher of Realnews, Mr. Maureen Chibo. Miss Maureen Chibo. Well, somebody said he's a man, because he does a lot. I have known Maureen over a long period of time. We were classmates at the postgraduate school, Department of Mass Communications at the University of Lagos. And I met her that time also. She was the general editor of Newswatch. So she has come a long way. And I knew when Realnews was born. And to even count today that is in the 11th anniversary. Congratulations, Maureen. Let me just also mention some going of the pen pusher's profession. Mr. Martin Soloja, Managing Director of The Guardian, I greet you. Mr. Ken, I greet you. Yes, founder, political economist. And also recognize Maureen one more time and congratulate you for being the newly elected president of GOCOP, Guild of Online Cooperative Affairs in Nigeria. Thank you. On that note, let me present the speech that Dr. Meda asked me to present at this event. And he tweaked the topic a bit to talk about the use of ICT in curbing financial crimes, the regulator's perspective. And he says, I am delighted to be in your midst today, and most especially to discuss this topic, which has become very important in our ecosystems, the use of ICT in curbing financial crimes. Financial crimes refer to criminal activities that involve transactions, abuse, misuse, deception, or manipulation of financial systems for personal gain. They include a wide range of offenses such as insider abuse, money laundering, terrorism financing, proliferation of financing, embezzlement, fraud, e-fraud, banking, securities, and corporate intellectual property abuse, all of that. These crimes do not only have a huge economic and social impact, but can also be linked to violent crimes that lead to loss of lives. These crimes threaten the integrity, trustworthiness, stability, security, safety, and future of our entity, either our country or enterprise where we work or even the individual. With the increasing adoption of digital technologies, the emergence of new technologies, and the often transnational nature of these crimes, the scope of financial crimes has broadened and created further concerns. The role of ICT in curbing financial crimes properly. Robust information and communication technologies, ICT systems, are critical for preventing and investigating financial crimes or mitigating the risks associated with virtual assets in financial markets. These systems facilitate compliance with established standards or regulations. They also provide a platform that allows the monitoring, tracing, and analyzing of digital transactions in real time. ICT systems support secure data storage and encryption technologies, which are critical for safeguarding sensitive financial data. Technological advancements have significantly aided crime prevention and law enforcement agency performance. Large data sets have been analyzed using advanced data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning algorithms to look for trends that indicate criminal activity. Based on historical data and real-time intelligence, predictive police programs have arisen to foresee and prevent crimes. Digital forensic techniques have also proven useful in criminal investigation. Historically, a variety of legacy technologies have been used to combat crime. However, in more recent times, novel computer softwares and hardwares are being utilized to monitor individual transactions and communications for suspicious activities. For instance, anti-money laundering software use algorithms to detect anomalous patterns in financial transactions that could suggest money laundering or other illegal activities. law enforcement agencies are increasingly employing communication monitoring software to follow and analyze digital and communications such as emails, social media interactions, and instant messaging in order to discover potential threats or illegal behavior. These technologies improve the ability to detect and prevent illegal digital activity. The Nigerian telecom sector has grown significantly, resulting in massive amounts of data being generated on a daily basis. The advent of advanced data analytics and artificial intelligence provides a gateway to identify suspicious digital patterns indicative of crime. Through partnerships with financial institutions, data can be filtered to identify these suspicious patterns and lead them to the board. These technologies provide real-time transaction monitoring, allowing for proactive approach to crime prevention. The Commission has also taken some proactive steps, if you like, in areas of fighting financial crime. To combat financial crimes, innovative solutions such as blockchain, instant payments, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, regulatory technology solutions, and automated procedures are being deployed. The use of technological tools has made it significantly easier to deal with financial crime while building a long-term strategy for combating it. Some of those steps that have been taken by the NCC include the Computer Security Incident Response Team, CSIRT. This is a group of experts, of which the Nigerian Communications NCC is part of, that handles security incidents or incidents that can affect the operations of various organizations. There is also digital forensics, a branch of forensic science that focuses on identifying, acquiring, processing, analyzing, and reporting on data stored electronically. Electronic evidence is related to crime and criminal activities and can be admitted in the process of prosecuting offenders in law courts. Verification of biometrics, because the Commission has incorporated biometrics authentication into financial transactions, which represent a big step forward in fraud prevention. The NCC makes certain that telecom carriers allow or follow strict biometric verification rules, which improve the accuracy and security of customer data and in turn financial transactions. There is what we call Pioneer Technology Solution. The law enforcement agencies and financial institutions have used this particular solution for data analytics. It's a data analysis platform which examines massive volumes of data for patterns indicative of financial crimes. It permits the integration of many data sources, allowing for more thorough investigation. Chain analysis solution case study has also been applied. It specializes in blockchain analysis and provides tools for tracking cryptocurrency transactions. This platform supports law enforcement in tracing illicit blockchain activity such as money laundering, ransomware payments, and illegal transactions. Concerning the significance of data security and privacy in the use of ICT for crime prevention, strong encryption and access controls ensure the security of critical information and strict respect for data privacy standards, such as the GDPR, General Data Privacy Regulation, in the European Union, and NDPA, the Nigerian Data Protection Act, aids in the prevention of trust in the use of ICT solutions for crime prevention. I hope you know that there's a Nigerian Data Protection Act that has been signed into law that has a lot of provisions. It will make it good that we get acquainted with those provisions in that act. Other areas of consideration that we think, or the EDC of NCC thinks, that while ICT has transformed the fight against financial crime, there are still difficulties that must be addressed collaboratively. Number one of that is inclusion and the digital divide. Access to ICT services is not equal for all parts of the population. The NCC is actively working to close the digital gap by pushing projects aimed at providing inexpensive and accessible ICT services to underprivileged communities in Nigeria. This inclusion is critical in ensuring that all citizens have the tools they need to conduct financial transactions safely. There is a harmonization of regulation going on. Collaboration among multiple regulatory agencies is critical for developing a united approach to addressing financial crime. The NCC actively collaborates with other regulatory authorities to share best practices, thereby guaranteeing a coordinated effort to protect Nigerian financial sector. Criminals adapt quickly to new technologies and strategies, and the NCC knows that. To keep ahead of developing dangers, the NCC understands the importance of ongoing innovation and ICT solutions. The Commission invests hugely in both research and development and in training its manpower for the emerging innovations in the tech space. The NCC also cultivating beneficial relationships with technology companies in this regard. We also collaborate with international corporations. Financial crimes often occur across territorial borders. Criminals take advantage of loopholes in rules and enforcement systems across jurisdictions. Collaborations between countries is thus critical for tracking down and apprehending these criminals. Some strategies for international collaborations and cooperation include sharing intelligence and expertise, because each country has its own set of insights, intelligence, data, and skills. And when it comes to tackling various types of financial crime, they are adept at it. By pooling these resources, we can gain a better grasp of emerging criminal techniques and methods. We also leverage resources by combating financial crimes, because combating financial crimes requires enormous financial, technological, and human resources. Collaboration allows for the sharing of resources, making participating nations reduce the burdens of the huge costs associated while maintaining effective and efficient results. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, ICT plays a critical role in combating financial crimes by enabling real-time surveillance, regulatory compliance, and secure data processing. It provides advanced analytics, AI, and machine learning to law enforcement organizations for better crime detection. Furthermore, hard technologies such as CCTV cameras and security systems supplement physical security measures. Collaboration is a matter of emphasis, and international cooperation are required to effectively tackle financial crime. Because, of course, it appears across all borders, and continued investment in ICT solutions, as well as multidisciplinary and multi-stakeholder strategy, is required to curb this particular phenomenon. On that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ruben Walker, please a round of applause for him. Central African Expansion Program of the BAM PhD. He's a holder of Bachelor of Science and Master's degree in Business Administration from the Ahmadu Bello University in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Mr. Ahmed Kuru. Mr. Ahmed Lawan Kuru, the Managing Director of Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. Please, let's welcome him.
Thank you very much. You know, in Nigeria, you put things like 30 minutes of observing protocol. Because quite a lot of important people here, we have to excuse us. That's why we developed this standing on the existing protocol. First, I would like to welcome Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State. until yesterday, presidential candidate of Labour Party. But former presidential candidate of Labour Party. We are proud of you. You are welcome, sir. His simplicity, I'm sure, is all of us here. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Harris, who is very happy to be recognized as a Liberian rather than a Senegalese. My friend Felix Kayode, and representative of Marco Coco. I told Irene that it is important she informs the House that some of us were here as 9 o'clock because this chairman of the event, MD of the UPA, we waited for him up to 10:30 without any information, which we found that was good. But thank God he sent his general manager to present him after realizing that he would not be here 30 minutes into the event. Let's extend our greetings to him. The publisher, our sister Maureen, who I've known for more than 10 years, she's been a very great human being. Like she was introduced, she's more than just a lady. She's just a human being. And she has contributed so much to the development of the journalistic industry, and I'm very sure that she still has a lot to contribute. To keep one event going consistently for 11 years in Nigeria, I'm sure it is She informed me about this event about 7 months ago and wanted to know whether one can confirm attendance. And I told her that you can only confirm today, but 7 months in morning, what's happening? And consistently, every month she will send a reminder, consistently, up to yesterday. And I'm sure she does that with all of us here, because she doesn't, look at some people that don't be a little important, other people are important. That is why she has been very, very successful in whatever she's doing, and we pray that one day she will be somewhere where she can decide policy that has to do with the youth generation. Invited guests, the gentlemen of the president are here. I want to believe that one of those events that I do attend, I try as much as possible not to read, but unfortunately, they gave me this to read, and I didn't write it. So if there's any problem, please blame my people. I want to believe it is one of those no-holds that media agenda setting by our sister Maureen and our team at Realnews to bring before once again one of those affairs in the government and our country at large who be left unattended without us. Although I have been asked to deliver a keynote address, which is more like lay the foundation for our best lecturers and discussions, quite a lot of things have been said about the subject matter here. The threats to illicit funds transfer to the African economy. For me, because this is true African economy, there are quite a lot of issues that has to do with illicit transfer of funds. Unfortunately for us, we don't lay the standards. Whether you want to call it money laundering, whatever you want to call it, we normally try to comply to what the international standard presents. But if you go to my village or you go to Maurice's village, where you talk about diaspora fund, and you want to look at the diaspora fund that comes to Nigeria and you send it to Felix, and you look at the sources of those funds that are coming into Nigeria, and you look at the impact of the funds that comes into some of these communities, quite a lot of people will disagree with what we're discussing here. And again, if you look at also the illicit fund that they say outside, how long does it take them to bring it back into Nigeria? And when they bring it back into Nigeria, do they pay interest on it? Because sometimes they keep it for 10 years, 15 years. We're sitting around budget part, and they tell you $100 million is coming. That they kept for like 15 years without any interest that they had on it. Maybe Felix will help us to look at that, so that we start looking at what is the financial cost of keeping those funds outside the country. But for me, no matter how we look at IFF, which is the illicit funds transfer, it poses a huge challenge to the political, economic, and security around the world, particularly in developing countries. Corruption, organized crime, illegal exploitation of natural resources, fraud, and international trade, tax evasion, all harmful diversion of money from public governments. If you see what is happening around Boko Haram, the mining activities, you see that you start wondering how do they take their money outside this country? Because obviously most of those mineral resources are not being paid in Naira. So transfer illicit transaction is very, very, very harmful from the one way or the other, because it grants us the opportunity to have the tax, to have orderliness around the natural resources that we have. But Realnews has carefully selected speakers and discussants that will do justice for this. We are hoping that they will also come with data to tell us to and from, because when you balance the two, then you see where the danger is. Is it affecting us more, or is it affecting us, or is it affecting them more, or is it damaging us? So facts will also help us to know how bad it is. But certainly, our ability to control fund movement is very, very key to development approach. For the purpose of this gathering and for the benefit of some of the participants that are here from outside Nigeria, I would like to take your minds back to the global financial crisis of 2008. If you go back to the global financial crisis of 2008, and you also realize that there are quite a few irregularities and abuses that also happen within the financial industry that has contributed to the global financial crisis. But nobody talked about that. But it's also important that even within the financial system, you now watch how funds are moved from one to the other. But always say that regulation alone cannot help, because technology is moving very fast. Crypto has come to make all regulations look, okay? So what we have to do, and which NCC is doing about, is to see how to position technology, to track, some of these funds from where they start and where also they end. But most importantly for me, at the end of this program, we should be able to define our understanding of what illicit funds are, where they come from, where they go to, how do they impact also on the community. Because we've seen situations where there are quite a lot of double standards. Because if you talk about money laundering now, and you look at the law governing money laundering, even at Maureen, they're not able to leave their approval, because it's a very big definition, which you can subject to quite a lot of interpretation, depending on what you want to use it for the shop. So the standards that have been set out there, we find out that from the developing country perspective, it is not practically possible to comply to them. As you are approaching 80-90% of the compliance, again, felix will comply to that. They will move the goalpost. But the most important thing is that it must always be working forward. The world is a global village. We cannot afford to allow funds to move freely, because if you go to the root of what is happening with the Boko Haram, what is happening with the bandits, what is happening with illegal mining, you will see that funding and illicit movements of the fund is key to what they are doing. If we're able to stop, the illegal movements of money from one place to another, and we're able to control it, I think substantially it will even reduce the security challenge basically. So we have to commend the federal government because quite a bit of efforts and investment is being made towards ensuring that funds that moves around are monitored and are being reported to the regular regulatory authorities for proper, cleaning and action. So I welcome all of us to this event, particularly some of our colleagues are here from the outside Nigeria, and I'm sure that at the end of the day, we will leave this place without a hope. Most importantly, more than whatever we learn here, we all have responsibility to be sure that whatever happens around us should be done properly. Whatever funds we receive should be properly from correct sources. Where we see that there is a contravention to any of the laws that have been set up, we also have citizen responsibility to report it to the regulators. So I thank once more, I thank for this very much for annually bringing critical issues. Last year it was about drugs, which is also a very, very damaging issue in Nigeria, particularly in some of the communities, as we are seeing because of it. If you control drugs, control illicit movement of funds from one place to another, big issue that we should control, fight the of the security challenges that we currently face in Nigeria. I thank all of us for coming, and I wish us a happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed Guru. Please, can we put our hands together again for him? May I crave your indulgence to also recognize some participants who are online watching what is happening here today. First on the line is Ambassador Stanley Chukwuemeka. We can see you. Mr. Augustine, you're there. Collins, Steve, Ubu. Okay, before I continue, please, Okute looks as if he wants to leave, but before he does, just a word or two from him. Thank you, sir.
Chairman of this occasion, let me borrow my dear brother's all protocols very respectfully observed. Yes, it's morning. I thank all that are here. Last week I said, I didn't mention my own before I left Abuja this evening. I said morning, and even Abuja 7 a.m. I'll be here by 8:30. I'll stay till 11:30 because I have a flight to catch from 12:30 to over. They've announced the flight. So I'm pleading that please be soon. But morning, I thank you for this very topical issue. I'm sure the evenings for various journalists. I like to listen to things like this because that's a part of nation building. And I urge all of us to listen to those who are going to discuss it. I'm going to read them out. I will continue to learn and study, especially as we have a country that requires to cut down on criminality and things like this in order to build a better society for our children. Thank you and God bless all of you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, while they see him off, yes, a short time ago, I was just trying to reel out participants online. I stopped at Dr. Aki Akinbudu, Mr. Hakim Bello, is an essay to Mr. Fashola, Kemi Yusufu, Larry Shegu, Mohammed Ashiru Baba, Professor Donna Umesi, Shegu Mark, Medal, Simbi Wabote, Sylvester Ebodage. And while on site, we have the pleasure to have Nanke Harry Willie. He's the publisher and editor-in-chief of Brand Power. Mr. Emeka Ugu Oju is the founder of Nesh Foundation. Professor Obi Nachuku is the deputy vice chancellor at the University of Lagos. And Honorable Dr. Dakuku Peter Side. He's former of many things. He's a former governorship candidate in Rivers State. He's a former DG of INASA. He's a columnist right now, and possibly very soon he will be conferred with a professorial seat. Please can we welcome him, Dr. Dakuku. You know, your seat is that of one politician leaves another politician. I think Mr. Peter Bini, you were coming, he kept the other seat. He didn't need to take over. But okay, I'll find some time to sit on that chair. Thank you very much, sir. We are now to the main issue, the thing that has brought us here, courtesy of Maury. Mr. Adrian W. Harris Jr. assumed duty as the Director General of the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa on the 1st of August 2022. He was appointed at the helm of the community institution based in Dakar, Senegal by decision of ECOWAS. He holds a master's degree in public administration from Northeastern University in Boston, United States. He holds a master's degree in business administration from the Strayer University in Woodbridge, Virginia, United States, and a bachelor's degree in economics and political science. Mr. Adrian Harris is a dedicated Pan-Africanist, progressive personality. He believes in the redemption of Africa through its unity. He is married and he is a father of 4 children, but we don't know if they are all males or females or males and females. Or both. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our guest lecturer today, the topic is threats of illicit funds flow to the African economy. Please welcome Mr. Adrian W. Harris Jr.
Before I go into the lecture, I just want to make this statement. So, when the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was sang, and then after which the national anthem of Liberia was also supposed to be, then I was like, oh, we are all Africans in the same region. So it's like, when and how long will we sing one national anthem when we gather in such of these events? I guess I don't know if you don't know about it. Let's figure out that one day that the United States of Africa national anthem will be sung, and then we'll be able to sing. I firstly want to extend my profound thanks and appreciation to the and the entire leadership of the Realnews magazine. Our comment on our part to participate in this proceeding today is not a favor to the Realnews. Actually, it's part of our mandate. So we are glad, we are excited to be part, to serve the people of Nigeria and the people of Africa. I will proceed and stay on the existing protocol that have been established, Mr. Chairman, by your permission, to this lecture series. The topic given me to discuss today
It's unique to the work we do at GIABA and in the space in the fight against illicit financial flow. So we have several subtopics. The first thing we want to know, what is the definition? Even though there is no clear-cut working definition for illicit financial flows, we will figure out and have a consensus through the lecture on what constitutes illicit financial flows in the country. We will also discuss the skills of illicit financial flow, at what level it is. That is a man that has been taken out of Africa. We will also look at the threats to illicit financial flows to the African economy. And then we'll look at responses or response to the fight against illicit financial flows. And therefore ask a fundamental question. Why African countries are unable to effectively address illicit financial flows? Then we'll look at the work of GIABA. We know GIABA is ECOWAS specialized institution, primarily responsible for fight money laundering, terrorist financing, and other transnational crimes, including human trafficking, drug trafficking, and those other transnational crimes. So what work has GIABA done in addressing illicit financial flows within the West African states? And then we'll end up with a recommendation by asking the question, why should African countries do differently in the fight against illicit financial flows? Having said that, I proceed with the topic given me. The threat of illicit financial flows, the threat of illicit financial funds flow to the African economy. I would first like to acknowledge the key role Realnews magazine and other media houses are playing, especially in exposing illicit financial flows and the underlying criminal activities, and also commend their work and contribution to the development of Nigeria and indeed the region of West Africa and the African continent in general. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, illicit financial flows are global phenomena. They do not respect borders. They undermine global, social, political, economic, security, and have become a serious threat to the attainment of development agenda, particularly in Africa. Consequently, these issues have moved into the forefront of Africa's agenda in recent years and will continue to shape the thinking of our development in the coming years. I am pleased and delighted that Realnews magazine has chosen to focus on this matter from an African perspective during this year's anniversary. I'm pleased that Realnews have focused on this matter from the African perspective during this anniversary. This is appropriate and timely because our continent is one where illicit financial flow pose a significant threat to the development agenda of our country. I strongly believe that this event will boost a sense of urgency that we have about the threat of illicit financial flow and raise our collective response against such flows. Although there is no clear-cut agreement or precise definition of the term illicit financial flow, the 2015 United Nations High-Level Panel Report on illicit financial flows from Africa defines illicit financial flow as money illegally earned, transferred, or used. In other words, these flows of money are in violation of laws in the origin or during the movement or use, and therefore considered illicit. In the context of this definition, therefore, the high-level panel report on illicit financial flows from Africa notes that illicit financial flows typically originate from three sources. One, corruption, including money acquired through bribery and abuse of office by public sector to private sector officials. Criminal activities ranging from trafficking in people and drugs, arms smuggling, fraud in the financial sector, such as unauthorized and unsecured loans, money laundering, stock market manipulation, and outright forgery. Commercial activities arising from business-related activities and having several purposes, including hard wealth, evading or aggressively avoiding tax, dodging customs duties, and domestic levies. Globally, illicit financial flows are driven by a number of push and pull factors. The most obvious push factors driving illicit financial flow is the desire to have illicit wealth. Similarly, poor governance and structural deficiency in the financial system remain concerning and largely contributing to driving the outflow of illicit flows. Other push factors include weak regulatory structures, tax incentives, weak institutional capacity, globalization agreement. A major pull factor for illicit financial flows from Africa is the existence of financial secrecy jurisdiction and tax having, state and legal reports. But then is the skills of illicit financial outflows from Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, illicit financial flows are inherently difficult to measure due to several factors, including the legality associated with some of these flows, their underlying activities, limited data, the absence of a uniform and consensual definition of illicit financial flows, and the lack of universally accepted methodology to estimate or monitor. Consequently, the skills of illicit financial flows out of African countries remain a matter of controversy, which estimates very briefly are heavily debated. For example, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa high-level panel on illicit financial flows states, and I quote, that Africa is estimated to lose $1 trillion or more over the last 50 years. It is estimated to lose more than 50 billion annually. This statement is also corroborated by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, which estimates that Africa loses so much as 60 billion each year in illicit financial flow. Similarly, in 2020, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development in its report on economic development in Africa estimated that Africa losses about 88.6 billion, which is 3.7% of its gross domestic product annually to illicit financial flows. At regional level, the skills of criminal posts in West Africa are estimated to 3.6% of global gross domestic product of West Africa. Despite the challenges in estimating the scales of illicit financial flows in Africa, in the critique of the current estimate on illicit financial flow, there is widespread agreement among critical stakeholders that their scales is huge, growing, and are almost equal to official development assistance and foreign direct investment flows from Africa. The greatest contemporary challenges facing the international community, and in particular, Office on Drugs and Crime, UNDCO, in its strategic vision for Africa 2030, launched in February 2021, notes that illicit financial flows remain a key impediment to Africa's attainment of the 2030 agenda and African Union Agenda of 2063. Illicit financial flows threaten fundamental aspects of development, including weakening the rule of law, undermining the quality and accountability of, I read that again, undermining the rule of law and threatening the quality and accountability of democratic institutions. Some argue they also affect broader cannot be precisely quantified. Illicit financial flows constitute a major threat to Africa with significant devastating consequences as vast volume of wealth is lost each year that will be used to fund sustainable economic development, provide public service, and solve youth unemployment problems. In particular, illicit financial flows undermine domestic revenue collection and have adverse consequences on the ability of African countries to maximize benefit from the extractive sectors. Thus, illicit financial flows exacerbate the challenges of African governments face in mobilizing domestic resources to address the needs of citizens, to promote development, to achieve sustainable development goals. Also, illicit financial flows deprive African countries of appreciable amount of investment funds, which will otherwise support economic growth. In addition, the investment, illicit financial flows are presently curtailing Africa's saving rate. Furthermore, illicit financial flows Also inhibiting African economies development by shifting trade and macroeconomic stability. On the social front, the negative social impact of illicit financial flows in Africa manifests in several ways, including poverty and inequalities, as noted earlier, deplete government revenue. This contributes to widening of the funding deficit for infrastructure and social policy measures for poverty reduction, making it difficult to develop infrastructure and weakening social cohesion, and worsening poverty in other social development outcomes such as health, power supply, education, and other deprivation. As evident in the Africa's Human Development Record, the United Nations Development Human Index indicates that about 83% of African countries reported between medium and very low human development, and this is partly due to the illicit financial outflows. Besides the considerable amount drained annually, illicit financial flows also threaten peace and security in Africa. They have direct implications on Africa's securities because of their link with corruption, organized crime, illegal exploitation of natural resources, fraud in international trade, drug and counterfeiting, tax evasion, which are harmful as the diversion of money from public priorities. Some researchers have argued that illicit financial flows contribute to the devastation of peace and security by promoting conflict and providing terrorists and criminal groups the financial means to conduct their operations and undermine peace in Africa. What then to be the response to illicit financial flows? The threat posed by illicit financial flows to the development and security have placed illicit financial flows on global discourse, as we are today discussing. It led to increased effort from international community towards combating illicit financial flows and outflows. Broadly, these efforts are initiated and aimed at strengthening the integrity of the global financial system, a higher level of transparency in addressing international corruption as well as cross-border movement of illicit funds and recovering stolen assets. For example, the adoption of the United Nations Convention Against Illicit Trafficking in Narcotic Drugs and Psychopathic Substances, the International Convention of the Suppression of the Financing of Terrorism, the Convention Against the Transnational Organized Crime, and the Convention Against Corruption were all aimed at seeking to stem up illicit financial flows and outflows. In addition, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Target 16.4 calls for combating insanity, and the President of the United Nations Economic and Social Council in March 2020 is expected to contribute to overall effort undertaken by member states in the combat against illicit financial flows. Other notable global initiative for combating illicit financial flow is the Financial Action Task Force, created in 1989. The FATF set up broad and consistent framework of measures which countries should implement in order to combat money laundering and the financing of terrorism and proliferation of the weapon of mass destruction. The FATF and its star regional bodies, including GIABA, often evaluate the extent to which member states have implemented the international anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism standards. At the continental level, the African Union has placed fighting illicit financial flows at the top of this agenda, recognizing this as critical for the achievement of Agenda 2063, in particular, AU other Aspiration 7 of this 2063 agenda call up the continent to take full responsibility for financing its development in order to achieve this goal. They must eliminate illicit capital outflows and promote the movement of civil society organizations to track and bring back any illicit capital outflows. Similarly, the establishment of a high-level panel on illicit financial flows in 2012, led by His Excellency Thabo Mbeki, former President of South Africa, marked a critical step which demonstrated the concern shared by African government and represent the continent's commitment to combat illicit financial flows. The AU is also collaborating with partners to mobilize needed resources, including the launch of EU 7 million, which is $8.4 million at a multi-donor action with the European Union, the German Federal Ministry, and the African Union itself. In December 2020, with the sole aim of combating the scourge of illicit financial flows on the African continent. The African Union and its member states are also in strategic partnership to address existing and emerging challenges and gaps in the fight against illicit financial flows, including through the instrumentality of the African Tax Administration. At national level, several efforts have been made across the continent to address illicit financial flows. These include the ratification and domestication of relevant UN convention, enactment of anti-money laundering law, other related legal and regulatory frameworks, establishment of critical institutions such as financial intelligence units, anti-corruption units, conduct of national risk assessment to better understand the risks, creation of domestic coordination mechanisms such as anti-money laundering, interministerial committees, and enactment of international cooperation and information exchange through formal and informal cooperation channels. Why are African countries unable to effectively address illicit financial flows? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, despite the plethora of initiatives and efforts at global, regional, and national level, it is still worrisome that illicit financial flows remain a major threat to the African economy. From the mutual evaluation so far completed, we found that several factors account for the inability of African countries to effectively stem off illicit financial outflows. These include limited understanding of what constitutes illicit financial flows and its related risks, inadequacy of legal and regulatory framework, limited resources, both human, financial, and technical, and challenges of independence and autonomy of critical institutions, weak domestic coordination and international cooperation, weak regulatory and supervisory regime, poor governance, lack of comprehensive sanction regime and non-application of sanction. If sanction is applied, it may not be effective, dissuasive, and proportionate, as well as sheer complexity in tracking the money, and the lack of capacity to monitor the large multinational firms operating in our extractive sectors in many African countries. Furthermore, the lack of political will also contributes to inhibiting the effective prevention of illicit financial flows in Africa. In many cases, corrupt officials trying to protect their own interests are remaining passive to the mechanisms that were essential to combat illicit financial flows and to promote assets recovery. In cases where necessary initiatives have been adopted, there is often lack of implementation of laws and policy owing to lack of political will. Illicit financial flows in Africa are sustained by the existence of a vulnerable financial system that allows huge financial outflow. The features that makes our financial system vulnerable to IFF include a cash-based, informal financial system with banking regulatory and supervisory framework and low-level compliance in anti-money laundering, combating the financing authority preventive measures. What has Java done, or what is Java doing to address the scourge of illicit financial outflow in West Africa? Java responds to the challenges of illicit financial flows in the region is within the context of its core mandate as a Pakistan regional body and a specialized institution of ECOWAS. Some of the specific examples of our work with direct impact on illicit financial outflow include the following. Capacity enhancement. We are working with member states, the 15 member countries in West Africa, plus two non-West African countries, to help them build capacity in critical areas for reducing money laundering, terrorist financing, as well as illicit financial flows. This support is targeted at relevant competent authorities such as the Financial Intelligence Unit, supervisory bodies, law enforcement, and prosecutorial authorities in the private sector. Other related programs include inter-university debate, open course targeted at youth and journalist program. Similarly, Java has deployed safety analytical software to 13 ECOWAS member states and also provided critical infrastructure such as computer analytical tools to strengthen the operational efficiency of key institutions. 2. Promotion of BRICS understanding. JAVA has supported and is supporting member states with technical and financial assistance to identify and respond to money laundering, terror financing risks through the conduct of national risk assessment. Broadly, the national risk assessment focuses on most of the offenses that generate legal proceeds, including corruption, tax evasion, organized crime, environmental crimes, and help member states to understand the extent of their exposure to many of the activities that give rise to illicit financial outflows. JAVA has also published several typologies and research reports on our website currently, including the report on illicit financial flows, the economy of illicit trade in West Africa, which provides better understanding of better trends and rates of illicit financial flows. Strengthening of domestic and regional cooperation. JAVA specific initiative in this regard includes the establishment of the NSCFP Inter-Ministerial Committee or the National Coordinating Committee in each JAVA member states to include the Federal Republic of Nigeria. JAVA Public-Private Sector Consultative Forum, Compliance Officer Forum of JAVA member states, and the Forum of Financial Intelligence Unit of JAVA member states. These were all aimed at strengthening domestic coordination and regional cooperation in anti-money laundering efforts that will also strengthen relationship between the public-private partnership to stem up illicit financial outflow. Support for legal and regulatory reform. We support on need basis the review of anti-money laundering, combating the financial terrorism legal and regulatory framework of member states to ensure consistencies with the international requirements so they will adequately address the money laundering risks and also risks of illicit financial flow. Conduct of mutual evaluation and assessment and compliance monitoring. In line with our core mandate as a Pakistan regional body, we assess compliance of member states with NSCFP international standards. Under the current round of evaluation, 16 member states are being assessed, with 14 evaluation reports published and 2 at various stages of completion, while the assessment of the large country will be conducted in January 2024. The assessment outlined areas for progress, strategic efficiency in the country NSCFP regime, and priority action recommended that countries need to implement to further strengthen their regime. Overall, while significant progress has been made in terms of technical compliance across member states, fundamental to major improvements are required in terms of effectiveness. Our compliance monitoring through the follow-up regime also facilitates compliance with global NSCFP standards. For instance, through our follow-up process, some of our member states have improved their legal and regulatory framework. The improvement in technical compliance impacts positively on the effort to curb illicit financial outflow in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, while much is being done by JAVA, there is much more to do. Overall, the onus is on member states to leverage on the support provided by JAVA and undertake necessary reform to enhance their effectiveness in addressing money laundering, terrorist financing, and illicit financial outflows. The question is, what should JAVA member states and other African countries do differently to reinforce effectively address illicit financial flow? In answering this question, it is imperative to mention that the solution to addressing illicit financial flow will differ depending on the country context and the underlying activities that result in these outflows. In some cases, action will involve preventing criminal activity. In other cases, it may involve identifying and sanctioning serious and substantial illegal tax evasion. In other cases, other measures may be required. Notwithstanding, based on findings of our mutual evaluation, the following general recommendations are perfect. 1. Enhancing illicit financial risk understanding. The critical first step in responding to illicit financial flow is to assess and understand the risks. Most of the national risk assessment or sectoral assessment conducted across African countries are not comprehensive, with many of them not covering all of the offenses that generate illegal proceeds, including corruption, tax evasion, organized crime, and environmental crime, which limit countries' ability to comprehensively understand the extent of their exposure to many of the activities that give rise to illicit financial outflow and craft appropriate strategy to respond to the risks. But a review of existing national risks to identify specific areas or sectors most prone to illicit financial flow is absolutely necessary to deepen the understanding of illicit financial flow risks and generate appropriate response. But conducting robust national risk assessment will require a large extent the maintenance of comprehensive anti-money laundering, illicit financial flow related statistics. 2. Enhancing domestic coordination and collaboration. Many agencies have roles to play in addressing illicit financial outflow. For example, the Financial Intelligence Unit, Customs and Tax Authority, Supervisory Body, Law Enforcement Agency, and the judiciary. Therefore, tackling illicit financial outflow requires strong and effective interagency collaboration and coordination among these authorities at both operational and policy levels. C. Reform of legal and regulatory framework. While some progress has been made in this regard, however, given emerging trends in illicit financial flow, recent changes to FATCA status on beneficiary ownership, recommendation 24 and 25, etc., African countries still need to undertake further reform to align or ensure consistency of such framework with international standards. Comprehensive framework for tackling illicit financial outflows include robust illicit financial flow policy, up-to-date laws and regulations that are absolutely important in order to provide a comprehensive legal basis in the fight against illicit financial flow. Strengthening public-private partnership. Effective public-private partnership constitutes a key and critical aspect in the fight against illicit financial outflow. Specific areas of cooperation in public-private partnership will include illicit financial flow risk assessment, national policy and strategy formulation, investigations and prosecution, freezing and confiscation of assets, drafting of legislation and regulation. Illicit financial outflow trends and typologies, feedback mechanism. This can facilitate a shared understanding of illicit financial flow risks, fostering access to information, enhancing the level of expertise and knowledge for all stakeholders. 5. Working with civil society and media groups, which we are now doing with Maureen and the Realnews magazine. It is often important to understand and emphasize the role that civil society and media can play in this regard. However, it is neglected. Yet the activities have had a significant impact on lowering the size and scope of illicit financial flow. Currently, illicit financial flow is an agenda where we need the strength and engagement, mostly of combined effort with government and civil society. So our countries need to strengthen engagement and partnership with civil society and the media to take a shared responsibility to address illicit financial outflow. For example, journalists can help government agencies in their investigation of illegal activities by providing much needed data. In our opening statement, the publisher, Madam Maureen, said that we also encourage whistleblowing, which is also a unique part of collecting information and data from civil society to government institutions. Strengthening international cooperation. The outcome of published mutual evaluation report of African countries as of September 27 on international cooperation, immediate outcome 2 indicate that no African country achieved a high level of effectiveness, while only Ghana and Egypt achieved a substantial level of effectiveness, with other assess countries achieving either moderate or low-level effectiveness. This means that major to fundamental improvement are required in international cooperation, reaching over 94% of the assessed African countries. Thus, African countries need to strengthen formal and informal cooperation mechanisms to proactively seek international cooperation in the fight against illicit financial flow. Other measures include strictly supervisory regime for financial institutions and designated non-financial business professionals. It is also important to state that designated non-financial business professionals sometimes become difficult in supporting and cooperating, such as our bar associations. So I think this medium to call on the bar association in West Africa to support the work of the Financial Intelligence Unit and other draft institutions in the fight against illicit financial outflow. We are aware of the cost of crime confidentiality. However, when it comes to illicit financial flows, it should also be seen as a threat to national security and the social well-being of the people. Overall, in the words of the in the words of the Honor Secretary General and Special Advisor to the U.S. Secretary General on Africa, Christina Durat, addressing her audience, she stated in her quote, illicit financial flows require tackling the imbalance in the international financial and trade system, while curbing such flows at national and regional level require confronting weak institutions that have prevented Africa from exercising the necessary ownership over economic and financial flows, such as managing natural resources, particularly the extractive industry. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, illicit financial flows are systemic problems require a systemic solution. African countries cannot afford to relax as illicit financial flows threaten sustainable development. Africa's effort to ensure the reduction of illicit financial flow must be proactive, frank, and unwavering, while activity that gives rise to illicit financial flow must be fought without compromise. We must act quickly and act now. The key task is to take bold steps to operate and coordinate efforts until we dismantle the system extracting wealth from Africa. This requires collective action by all critical stakeholders, including authorities, the private sector, the media, the civil society organizations, and individual citizens. Towards this end, I must extend my unqualified thanks and appreciation to Madam Maureen and the hard-working staff of Realnews magazine for this event. Ajaba and take this event very serious and appreciate the effort for allowing us to share with you on this important topic. All of us here today have the duty to advance the cause. It may be challenging, but it is possible. Let us play our individual part. I look forward to the full and productive discussion in the next session. Thank you very much for your time.
Please keep clapping, keep clapping.